This is one of the most important videos I'm going to have made so far, and this one is about the battle of the mind. Now, this is the most insidious side of targeting. Now, I talk about targeted individuals, but this applies to everybody on Earth. We are all being targeted. The US and the UK have surveillance systems all around the world. Even China has their own surveillance system. So, and different governments have their own. So, again, this applies, but I can only talk from what I experienced here in the UK and what I've gone through in terms of targeting. Like I say again, I just want to make sure that you're aware that even if you're a normal person who feels like they're not being targeted, you are, because it just happens. It applies to everybody. The most important things I'm going to talk about, I'm going to talk about here is, so let me go through my notes and hopefully it all makes sense. One of the things you should be aware of is if you can hear your thoughts or not. Some people will be able to hear their thoughts, other people can't. I can hear my thoughts. I can hear them when they're in different people's voices. And I know that, so I know for sure that they're not my 100% thoughts. They're like hijackers. Because what they like to do is they like to hijack people's thoughts. And I'll go into how they do this and why. One of the first things I've mentioned about the battle of the mind, sometimes you'll hear music playing in your head on loop. That is not you. They are the ones sending you the song. You have to pay very close attention to the lyrics in the music that is playing in your head, because what they're trying to send you a message, or they're trying to trap you in the lyrics of that song. So if you're always hearing music playing in your head, that is them. They are trying to loop songs so that you have a certain way. And did you notice all the music in the modern day is corrupted? They have the languages they use and the words they say is entrapment, or it's like encourages you to sell yourself out or to prostitute yourself, or so on and so forth. So just be aware of that. And you will notice that they always focus on love as well, like sex and love and relationships. That's a purposeful. They want you to focus on relationships like the most important thing. Whereas naturally, not everybody is inclined to relationships like romantic or sexual relationships. You can watch my other video about handlers, and that explains a little bit of why some people are not interested in that. And then by nature, romantic relationships are not for most people. They just tricked us into thinking that way. And one of the reasons why, like I say, this is on a parasitic level and on a governmental secret services. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but secret services are watchers. In the ancient history, they would have called them the watchers. That's how it was referred to in the Bibles. In modern day, they always change their name. Every few generations, they change the name of what it is, but it's still the same thing. So now they're the watchers. So yeah, the music and thought. So don't sing songs if you don't agree with the lyrics, because if you sing the song, then you're agreeing with the lyrics, because whatever you sing is, I spoke in my previous video, is powerful, and it is like a trap. It's like a curse on you, or like a spell on you. When I talk about the different voices, like hearing your thoughts in other people's voices, those are your handlers. They are the secret services projecting into your mind, trying to take over your thoughts. There is a book, I don't know if it has this information in it, but it's a very interesting book. So I would advise that you grab the book, because it has some solutions to some of these problems. It's called, let me just grab it. It's called Alien Parasites, 40 Gnostic Truths to Defeat the Archon Invasion. Now, this guy in the book talks about this as, refers them to as archons, like parasites from another realm. But I will go into this in another video. I probably will do some highlights from the book. So yeah, this is a very important targeting they do. They bombard targets with a lot of thoughts. So you think that you're overthinking. Half the time, half of those thoughts aren't your own, but they're just so inclined to what you would naturally think that you believe them to be your own thoughts. Because what they do is they listen. First of all, they listen and observe you. They watch you. Now, this has been going on since your birth. They observe you. They learn how you think. And then they learn the most repetitive thoughts, what you think about the most and how you think about things. They observe it in such detail. And then they start to mimic that. So you could be thinking about, I don't know, say, for example, food all day. They know you think about food all day. So they're going to start thinking about food. And then you're going to think that's your thought going on. And then they just hijacked your mind. And now you're on their line of frequency or their line of thought. And then you make it so close to what you would actually believe that you wouldn't even be able to tell the difference between your thought and their thought. So that's what they do, because they want to hijack the body and take over. I have more videos to do about hijacking, possession, and taking over and stuff like that. What they would do is they put your natural spirit to the back, and they will be the main focus of your thoughts. Now, you don't think that secret services will be able to do this, but they can. They have the technology, and I will have to do another video all about all the technologies that they have. A lot of it is not disclosed, but you at least see how far they are in terms of technology. So repetitive thoughts are what they use to like hijack your thought process. What I would say to you is try to avoid having repetitive thoughts. And one of the ways that you can do this is always be learning something new, always be adapting to like new thought, not new thought, but like new, learning new, things. So like you can learn a new language, you can learn, I don't know, something, but try and make it complicated in a sense, something that is really challenging to you, or something that will transform your thought process. Because if you're always changing your thoughts, they can't predict what you're going to think next, and therefore they can't hijack you. They like people who think very basic, rudimentary thoughts because they're very easy to control. That's why, if you're an ignorant person or somebody who's very shallow or worldly and only thinks about the worldly things, you're very easy to control. So what you can do, another technique that I've written here, is that you can do manifesting scripting. So you know how they say manifestation, I don't know if you're aware of what manifestation is, but it's practically like bringing what you want into reality by thinking about it all the time, or visualizing it, or writing it down. You can write down what you want to happen in terms of them. So you can protect yourself by scripting, by writing it down. And this is very powerful if you learn the right words to do this. So this is just an example. You could write something like in your journal, like have a journal dedicated to this. You can write down, all mind hijackers or possessors are blocked from my mind. So write your name down, your full name, all your detail of your name, from my mind for all of eternity. You have to, and then you can write full stop. The full stop is to like declare that this is what will happen. You could do a prayer, so say amen, or whatever it is you believe in. So I need a bit of water now. But yeah, so just write down and then stamp it with your approval. And if you keep writing these things down, like they say, it becomes your reality. The more you repeat writing these things, the more of your reality it becomes. So that's how you can do it. You can use other ways of doing it, like, and then you can think outside the box with this as well. So also think outside the box as much as possible. Try not to, be conformed to the worldly things. Think as far out of the box as you can. And they can't anticipate that. Maybe even think about them and how to overcome that. They can't anticipate that, and they wouldn't want to contribute to that thought. So then there's the other thing. So I've written here, they do parasite games. I call them parasite games. They do, and this is just like they play with your belief systems and they try to trick you or make you fearful or do things that, make you very uncomfortable. So what they would do is like they would do things like they'll say, oh, you're the devil or something like that. Whatever it is that, would make you uncomfortable. They might call you a demon or a vampire. They might talk about prostitution around you, like you're a prostitute and stuff like that. Anything to make you uncomfortable. And then they would do things like play around with your belief systems. Then they will make you think like, if they'll give you, I forgot what they call it, but superstition. They will make you believe in many, many, many different types of superstitions. So it's like you feel like if you walk on a crack in the pavement, that you might be like something bad might happen, and then you'll start acting very strange. So they like to play on you, and I call this parasite games. They like to play these type of stupid games, and it's just a way to trap you and to make you take you away from your genuine, natural, free, abundant, happy, sovereign self. That's what they're trying to do. Again, you can also declare using your full name that you're sovereign, and do this on a regular basis, so that and that hopefully that will help separate you from them. And also when they do these like parasite games, your belief is the most important thing. So if you don't believe it, they've lost the game. They do it to try and trick you, to get you all like wound up and confused and irritated and angry and low vibrational. So just ignore most of these things. Most of this is just ignoring. If you just ignore most of it, you'll probably be fine. They try to, this is another, oh, okay. So my mouth is dry, but I can't, let me go and get some water. So as I'm going, I'll talk to you about this. So they try to so what they try to do is they try to snare you or trap you by your thoughts. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, sorry, my mouth suddenly just went dry. What they try to do is they try to snare you with your words and thinking of, I wrote thinking of your subconscious. So, when you do actions, this is so insidious. This is probably one of the most insidious things. You may be thinking to yourself about a conversation you had with somebody and you're like, yeah, you might say yeah or okay or something like that. Really, what they've done is they've on another level, they are trying to trick you. They're trying to like set you a curse. And when you say yeah, thinking about something, to them it's your agreement. This is how they operate. They operate on the subconscious. So even when you're on your computer and you press a button like yes or no, You know, sometimes things pop up like, do you want to continue? Yes. Do you want to go back? No. Or that can be, they could be behind the thought. This is how MK Ultra works. They will have said something like, you know, oh, do you want to be trapped for, I don't know, like, do you want to trap? And then you click the button and you say yes. So it's weird. So you might often catch yourself halfway in a thought, and for some reason you're agreeing or saying yes or no in your mind to something. Or it doesn't have to be yes or no. It could be like a line of thought that is an agreement. They're subconsciously trying to trap you. It's snares that they do. So I have been, sometimes when you're like halfway going to sleep, you're like, you can hear thoughts running around in your mind. Your subconscious is I don't know, going through thoughts that you've had through the day and like reevaluating the day and stuff like that. They try to trap you with those thoughts as well. And I've caught myself like almost going in line with what they have set on me. So it's very insidious. When you agree to something like a yes or no, always complete the sentence in your mind. Don't just think, I agree. Like somebody says something like, oh yeah, this happened and it was bad. And you say, oh, that happened. Yeah, no. Think of it fully, like that what happened to that person was bad. So I agree that yes. Or you have to so whatever you're agreeing to, and you have to fill out the sentence. I've noticed that sometimes the half of the sentence is completed, it's cut off. So I will be agreeing to something that I haven't really got the gauge of. I don't know how to describe this because it's so subconscious. But like complete the sentence. Like whenever you say yes or no, just take this practice for this week and acknowledge every time you say yes or no or agree to something, and make sure see how you're completing the sentence, but complete the sentence. Like don't just say oh yeah. Don't do that. Just think like, I agree to what happened to that girl was bad, instead of just saying yeah, oh no. Just think about the full sentence. That's the best way I can describe it. Pay attention to your thought. If you can't hear your thoughts, I sympathize, because it's important that you're able to hear your thoughts. They can make your thoughts go away, in terms of like being able to hear them. But I would sympathize, and I would seek ways to be able to hear your thoughts or to be able to analyze your thoughts. Because if you don't know what you're thinking, then anything can be going on in your mind. Another thing that I want mentioned here is they can distract you. The most common thing that they try to do is distract you from going into deep thought. When you're in deep thought, they can't like hijack or possess you. When you're in deep thought, it's on a different frequency that they can't access, because it's really internal, and it's connected to like a higher power. So what they try to do is distract you and bring you out of your deep thought and like to a surface level where they're able to influence and control, or to possess and hijack. And so that's the reason they do that. They want to be able to possess and control. So what you'll find with a lot of people who have mental health disorders, like things like ADHD, which is something that they cause, it's because they're being distracted from going deep within, because deep within, you don't use words to think. It's like not imagination, but it just occurs. It just happens. So that's where you're most powerful. But if you're in this world thinking and it's not as powerful as being able to go deep within. So try and be able to concentrate. Do something that's engaging. When you're able to deeply concentrate, then they can't interfere. I wrote here, they like shallow thoughts. Most illnesses are due to them. So mental health problems are due to them as well. People who go through mental health realize that they can't concentrate when it comes to things. So they stop studying and things like that, which is the worst thing they can do. Overthinking, I said again, like ADHD, overthinking, it's them injecting their own thoughts into your head. So half those thoughts that you're experiencing are not your own. They can block out your thoughts for temporarily, and they can make you forgetful about things, especially if it's important things. Sometimes you'll realize when you're learning something that's very, very important, like key, especially when it's key to getting rid of them, defeating them, you might start to forget things. So you must always write down things immediately as they occur to you, the things that are important, because they will make you forget. This happens a lot with dreams. They will make you forget as soon as you wake up, especially because dreams, are in the spiritual realm and they affect our reality. One of the solutions for this, now this is a very, what should I say? It's a very, you should be cautious when it comes to this solution. But pine oil, you'll notice that in ancient times, all of the figurines, all the statues had a pine cone in their hand, because pine oil can help clear the parasites in the brain, which they use to hijack people's minds. So, because I've talked about nanotechnology just being parasites. They use programmed parasites in the brain. So concentrate is the best thing you can do. Meditation, concentration is great for this, but I say this, I wrote down for some, because for a lot of people, meditation won't be something they can achieve at the moment, but try try your best anyway, but I say for some. Sometimes it's just not something that you're aligned with. So meditation won't always help everybody, but for those who think that they can align with it, meditation is very important. Prayer is very, 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 very important. Like, you don't have to be a religious person. You don't have to pray to any god or anything, but you just have to have like prayers in your mind of casting them out and like destroying them and all those type of things. Whatever you feel is natural to you is the most important. And then also invocations. So if you're not if you don't like the word prayer, you could do invocations where you demand them out or you command them out of your body, or like say it's similar to prayer, but it's just a different way of doing it. I've always said eat healthy, because the worse your body state of your body is, the more they can impact you. Eat for your brain, because again, parasites in the brain can cause you a lot of issues. So eat for your brain. And then the last thing I was going to talk about is pornography and, watching sexual content. They've targeted people this way. You'll see most people watch this stuff. Thankfully I never really was into that type of stuff, but they use those images in your mind to control you, to affect you, to rape your subconscious and your body, and to siphon energy from you. If you watch pornography, they use that. You have been like, unfortunately, you've given them a gateway to, like, especially to your root chakra, which is between your legs, your private areas. You've given them access to your root chakra, and you're probably being raped by a lot of different spirits, because they can just initiate those images in your mind. Especially if you think about that all the time. If you're only thinking about sex all the time, that's them encouraging you to go down that road. If I was you, I would stop that kind of it's an addiction. I would stop it immediately if you can. Like, do your best to get rid of it, because that's one of the most, that's like giving yourself away. But anyway, that's where I'm going to leave it, because I think that's all my notes, and I think that's all that I wrote on that topic. If anything else occurs to me, I will come back and discuss it more, but those are the most prominent things that you need to work on. Before I end this video, I just wanted to make a correction in a sense, about people who can't hear their thoughts. It's not always a bad thing. It can be an amazing, like, very great thing for a person. It could mean that they're very internal, like they're very at source, and so they don't have thoughts in terms of like hearing thoughts that they can hear, and the people who can hear their thoughts have been pushed out of their body. So that could be the reason why. So if they can't hear their thoughts, it can be either they've been blocked, or in the good sense of it, it could be because they're just so in source that they don't need to have thoughts. And then the last thing I wanted to add is I just want to confess that, like, I am not a guru at this. I know things that occur to me that I know has helped me, and I've practiced them, but I don't do it like consistently like I should. I don't want you to think that I'm saying all this stuff and I'm a master at all of this stuff. Even in this video, as I was editing it, I caught myself saying a few years and agreeing to certain things, but I'm trying to learn, but I'm still going through the motions. But I feel like this is the stuff that if I could click my fingers and I could, change the way that I am to like overcome this attacks, this is what I would do, because I found them most useful and they've occurred to me. So I just wanted to make that clear. As always, listen to your intuition and always investigate things before you do them. And yeah, I just say good luck to you on your journey, and hopefully you will become a sovereign person if you apply yourself to it. We just have to wake up the masses, so alert people about this. And this is all MK Ultra. This is what the mind control agenda is and what they're trying to do. And this is the focus of it. And once you overcome this, then you're a free person. So anyway, take care, people. Bye.